You ever see Lewis?
He has a go right now. That's his dog. It's so funny.
Stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Rick Lacombe, present. George Merrill. Present. Noel Hinckley,
Present.
Tracy Rancourt,
Present.
Laura Clifford.
Present.
Gender adjustments? None. Ceremonial presentations?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, please. I'm gonna do the first one.
Can I stand up and get in the front? Thank you. Hi, everybody. So on July 17th, my husband and a young Boy Scout named Garrett Ashton were working in Boulder Cemetery on Route 132 in Nevada. And my husband had a medical emergency, which entailed Garrett dialing 911 and flagging down an ambulance. My husband ended up in the emergency room that day. And if it wasn't for this young man who had been with my husband, working on the cemetery stones with him, I don't know whether Jim would have been able to be found, number one, because there's no address at the cemetery. And number two, I don't know if he could have even dialed 911 to get somebody there. So we're going to recognize Garrett tonight for his actions. So I'm going to read both the plaque and the certificate for you, okay? So presented to Garrett Ashton, in recognition of your vital part in assisting with an emergency, your quick thinking made a difference in a person's life. Town of Sabattis, 8/19/2025. And this certificate says, this recognizes that Garrett Ashton, on behalf of the town of Sabattis and the Sabattis Fire Rescue Department, for your life-saving efforts during a medical emergency on the 17th day of July, 2025, your efforts directly affected the positive outcome in the life of another. So I'd like to present this to this lovely young man who is a Boy Scout as well, and thank you to him, and personally thank him for helping my husband that day. So, Garrett.
Good evening. I have a couple of awards to give out in recognition of truly life saved. A wise person once said that day after day, ordinary people become heroes through extraordinary and selfless acts to help their neighbors. I will add to that sometimes that neighbor is your own flesh and blood. On January 23rd, 2025, 3 citizens of the town of Sabattis lived out this statement, a very real and traumatic event that will no doubt live in their memories for a lifetime. On that day, the unthinkable happened. A beloved daughter, wife, friend went into cardiac arrest. Her mother, father, and their neighbors stepped in without hesitation to render CPR until help could arrive. The efforts of Jeff and Rebecca Charest, along with their neighbor, Todd Reedy, truly proved the difference between life and death. While this fact is supported through many studies, which tell us that early bystander CPR can increase survival chances of a cardiac arrest patient as much as 3 times, these 3 individuals prove this to be true. Therefore, I present Jeff, Rebecca, and Todd with a life-saving medal to be both a reminder and testimony of their heroic deeds done that day, which translated into a young and precious life saved. It is truly my honor to present these medals to them tonight. If you guys would come forward.
Can you both do both?
Rebecca? Yes, ma'am. Todd?
Thank you.
Jeff? Thank you, got it.
I grab a picture for you all.
I want him to do that with Garrett.
Let's do it too. Yeah. I know George was like, which way do you want the picture? I was like, do both, because I don't know. This website thing is new for
Will you
me.
do one for Garrett?
Yeah.
over to the left a little bit, George.
Carrie, come up and- do you want me in it or no? You want me in it? Sure. Okay.
Jim, does Jim want to be in it?
Yes.
Oh, Jim. No, you have, no.
You actually have to stand on the table, Jim.
Oh, okay.
I'd already said.
Yeah. You just have to yell it.
How about this?
No, that's just that section. That's just the section there.
Nothing.
That's what I said. We should be able to get through this.
Department head report.
Great, thank you,
Fire
thank
department.
you, Len.
Trying
Thanks
to get
for
one.
hearing.
Good job.
All right. So public hearing information meeting, none. Department head reports.
Do you have anything?
Fire department, none. Public works, do we get anything in public works?
I was gonna do it during mine, but I can. All right, I'll report out for Tony. He, on the roads that I've been working on, Key Road has been shimmed and paved. The tar driveways have been matched in and the dirt driveways have some gravel placed to help the transition. Still needs shoulder gravel installed and dirt driveways finished. Cross Road has been shimmed, needs top coat and edges done after. Webster Corner Road is ready when they have a crew available. Furbish Road has all culverts changed. We need to go back to pave them in. Sutherland Pond Road has had all bad culverts changed. We have started paving those in. We have 3 more and that will be ready for asphalt. Fisher Farm Road, we have had 2 more culverts to change, then pave them all in. So they've done a total of 4 completed and 2 more to do on Fisher Farm culverts. They've done 6 culverts on Sutherland Pond, they've done 10 on Furbush, and they've done Webster Corner Road, 1 and 2 driveways on Webster Corner. So they've been busy.
Nothing from Jerry?
Nope.
PD? Nothing.
They've actually both submitted theirs at the first of the month.
Yes.
All right, unfinished business, zooming into meetings.
No, I'll ask for that to be put on there.
So it's tabled, right?
The Zoom
No.
into me, no, that one's not. We tabled it last time because Noel had to leave.
Okay, okay, so we're zooming. Okay, we're at the zooming, sorry. My mistake.
I just think in case of like a medical situation, I think it needs to be very situational. It can't just be, I'm out on vacation every single time we have a meeting. But if we have something going on and we can be in a private area and it's a meeting that we really need to be on and we can't be here, but I think that we should be able to zoom in and have comment and talk about it. I don't think it should be every time. It's not something that should be abused. Even if we put stipulations like twice a year or 3 times a year or medical. I was fortunate when I had some medical stuff going, I was able to make it. Mark brought me down one time to a meeting, but if I could have stayed home and been in a meeting, I think it would have been probably a little bit better. But I showed up still and
Do we have a policy on,
We do. Yeah, we
Yes,
do.
we do.
yeah, we did it about 2 years ago or so.
Probably after COVID started wearing off.
Yeah. I know people have wanted to zoom in on every meeting. I don't think that should be something. Just food for thought.
Okay.
I guess I think that, for me personally, we should review that remote participation policy. I think it was too subjective on reasons why you can't zoom in. And maybe we could look at changing,
Security was one of it.
we could look at changing.
I'll send it. Well, you never can open your email. I was gonna say, I'll send it to email and then you guys can look at it, but.
I can open some emails.
All right, I'll send that out to you guys.
So we're going to table that?
Yeah.
Table it, okay.
Ford plow truck bid.
Okay, so the plow truck bid, we originally got 2. And Tony asked to to not award it last meeting because he wanted to go down and look at them. Neither one of them that were written up were exactly to the specifications we asked. While he was there, they finally did one to the specification we asked, but then that one technically it's after the date of the cutoff. So I do believe we need to go back out to bid.
Okay.
Yeah, and not award that.
How many did we get?
I'll make that motion. I make a motion, to put the RFP for the clean idle certified diesel plow truck back out to bid.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Okay, thank you. Got it.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
The community safety day is on there because of the location. We seem to be having an issue with location.
Can we talk about that first?
Sure.
Okay. So
Can we just make a motion, then it'll be up for discussion?
Yep.
And then we can vote it down if we want to, if that is.
okay, because I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll let you make the motion. then.
Okay, I'll make a motion to hold the community safety day at the town office complex.
Second.
Okay, so now I can talk. So,
Discussion.
thank you, Rick. Thank you. So the Community Safety Day. So I have an issue with it. I feel that, and take this from where it's coming from, the fire department has my support, but this should have come to the board or gone to the town manager first. I didn't like seeing Community Safety Day posted on Facebook and knowing nothing about it. That should never have happened. And had it come to the town manager or the Board of Selectmen first to talk about a Community Safety Day for the town, we would have been able to tell you immediately that Pleasant Hill was off limits because we don't own the land. The rec club leases that land, so it's not usable for the town. So I do have an issue with the way this was done. And I don't know if the fire department thinks they're an entity unto their own, but you are a part of the town of Sabattis. Everything needs to come through the town manager or the Board of Selectmen. This cannot happen again because this was not done properly, I don't feel, at all. We should have been able to vote on a Community Safety Day. We could have had the discussion of where it was going to be held and what was going to be held and, what was the best location for it. So I just have an issue with this and the way it was done.
Now.
Any other discussion?
Oh, can I say
Yeah.
something? So I think they originally wanted to have it at the primary school. That was one of the ideas.
It was one of them.
Yes.
Originally, the thought was at the ball fields.
Right.
We quickly learned, obviously, the town doesn't own it. There isn't enough room. There will be a traffic issue. So we were looking at
Right.
primary school as an alternative.
The primary school, I'm hesitant only because, well, for a few reasons. Our insurance company really didn't want to insure a school. They do not like insuring vacant buildings at all. So every incident that happens is a $25,000 out of our pocket. So if something should happen that day and it could be anything, but it's immediately $25,000 we're on the hook. So that leads me to say, no, we can't until we decide what's happening with that building and occupy it, and then it'll be a different situation. But for right now, I just don't think it's a safe place to be. So taking that off the table, it really kind of left just this unless somebody has another idea of where it could be located.
Laura?
So I have attended a couple of your previous events that you guys have done. And I'm sure there was some thought and kind of planning and collaboration that went into this. So do you mind just kind of telling us a little bit about what this is, how it came up,
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
I was happily ignorant of the idea until it was brought to me by an officer of the PD that wanted to do a joint thing. The idea was given to them by another individual. I thought it was a great idea. It's obviously a great way to interface with the public, a good community event. Me personally, coming from small towns, I think the more community involvement, the more good community events that you can do, just helps to bolster that. It's also a good way for the town and the citizens to see what the capabilities of the departments are, what they have. You get to meet some of the people they don't regularly get to meet. So that was the premise behind this. And then we sit down with PD, we ultimately sit down with Raquel once she got in place to see what we want to do, how we want to go. And we actually opened it up to where we have a FEMA representative coming from EMA's office, Interstate County Sheriff, or not the Sheriff's Department, but the dispatch center, so they can talk about dispatch capabilities, what PSAP is, things of that nature. We had K-9 demonstration lined up. National Guard was going to come, their National Guard, several mutual aid companies. United was going to bring an ambulance over so people could actually meet who the transport agency is, get to interface with some of them, as well as Elizabeth, who's our secondary transport service. And then we're going to have some individual events for kids, people in the community, had a couple of food trucks lined up so that people will be able to purchase food if they chose to. One of the big hurdles we ended up coming into was bathroom facilities. But that was the premise behind it and kind of the overall idea.
Nice. Thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm also going to do a table there for the dam commission. I guess once a year we have to hand out information. So that's a good spot for that. So I'll throw a
Yeah, I
table in
did that
the
at the
tent.
farmer's market. Emily asked me to the other year.
So anybody can join me.
So having, and I think Tracy and Noel were both here with the Fun Festival last year, and we didn't have I mean, we had a good turnout, but parking is a pretty quick. And so it was kind of like eat, pick up your stuff, leave, move along, you know what I mean, in a nice way. But
You've been here long enough. Time to go on.
But the fire department did some balloon animals. The police had a couple of vehicles open. The veterans were here too.
What did you use for restrooms?
Here,
I think the bad.
we ran around back door.
Okay,
Yeah. We
okay.
tried not to have people stay too long. Like, oh, you got your burger, you got a little food, socialize a little bit.
Some of us didn't know the
I
bathroom
didn't
was
know
open.
that.
I know. But yeah, so it was only an hour and a half long entire thing. And it was in the 5 to 7-ish. And I tried to get more people to eat some food because there was quite a bit. We wound up donating it to the Boosters Club at the high school, what was left over. But so that was one of the challenges because people start lining up on Route 9 on both sides of the road.
Oh,
I'm like, stop it. So,
Yeah, there is alternative location that we discussed. We haven't looked into it. We haven't went any further than just, hey, this might be an opportunity or option. The middle school's always been open to help us out, especially for hose testing, things of that nature. You know, there's several options out there, but I do understand parking, traffic control, crowd control. Those are all things. There's other things that we're looking at on the inside. Is another opportunity for us to train for instant command structure, things of that nature for a large scale event. And to me, I would like to see it to where we can develop it into something where we're not necessarily rushing people through, but they would be able to park, they'd be able to move freely and not necessarily linger, but take enough time that they could see everything and enjoy it with their family.
yeah.
Do we have a date and time for the event?
As of right now, we're shooting for October 4th.
What's the start time?
So it would be 10 to 2.
Any other discussion?
Is that a Saturday?
must be.
It's a Saturday? Okay. Thank
I
you.
just wonder too, with like all the sports, I'm very sports with the teenagers, how many, people would maybe, but it's maybe geared even towards smaller children that would,
What we plan to should be geared towards every age group.
yeah.
And how is it geared towards every age group?
So we've got different
Food trucks
events there, food trucks. Yeah.
for the older.
Beverage truck?
But no, like something I used to enjoy when I was growing up. My dad was a deputy chief for many years, so I always got an opportunity to go to different functions they had for the fire department. One thing I always went over well, hold a small hose line with low pressure, let the kids squirt water a little bit. Any age group can do that. It's
Right.
something fun. It's something they get to see and do. I'd make the assumption on the PD's looking at some things. They were looking at a K-9 demonstration. Kids love to watch dogs.
Right.
So different items like that.
Maybe a taser.
Yeah, George can.
Giving or getting?
Getting.
So I agree with Laura. I think the only issue here is the parking issue. And if somehow figured that out, I don't see a problem with having it here, but I just see because like I said, we can utilize the bathrooms here, but it's just a matter of the parking. But like you said, we've done it for the Fun Festival. It just, the road, I don't know. How do you feel about the roads being parked on Route 9?
Close one side down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Signs up.
It's such a busy road and like, yeah, it is a state road too.
That's
I
right.
mean, realistically,
Park on the
it's a
grass
little
over
cool,
there.
but I
Don't
mean,
park in the grass.
people walking up and down the line, not a great idea.
Right.
We even thought about people parking along the, like, trying to get permission with the storage units, and then we could golf cart them or something, and like, but we didn't get that big, so.
Well, Rick said we could park on the grass too. We could park on the grass. It's dry enough.
Where's your public works? They don't like that. Yeah, you want people parking on the grass out there? Because
So dry now, it doesn't matter.
There
That's
you go.
right. You know, I mean, if we have a deluge of
You think it is so dry.
rain,
Yeah.
but no, it's giving you guys a good time to work.
With parking too, just to put it above a year to think about it. If you consider the grass, we also have to have a place to put our events, and
Right.
equipment, and all those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, would there be a rain date for this, or is it, if it, let's say it's a pouring, which, it's hard to think about that at this point, but if it's pouring rain, is it just going to be canceled and you won't have a rain date?
At this point, most likely.
Okay.
We're getting so late in the year and I don't want time to do the school and sports and all that stuff.
Okay.
So in my mind anyway, this is really the last possible date to get it in
Okay.
the year. And something I've shared with the PD as well is just remember, this is the first year of us trying to do it. So there's going to be a lot of lessons learned. There's going to be a lot of things.
True.
See, this works, this don't work. We can change this because we do desire to make it an annual event.
Right, right.
So as we grow it, we can just make it better.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And one thing that was brought up to me after the Fun Festival and the farmers market stuff was an employee appreciation type of thing. So like, everyone does so much work for all of our residents that it would be nice to kind of also like celebrate them a little bit at some event. And then the Camp Guston was brought up as well, if an event was to be held there for the Summer Fun Festival because it's so hot, but those were just two ideas that.
So, any more discussion? All in favor?
Do we want to commit him to this location or?
Are you still looking into that other location?
I have not reached out to the middle school yet, but that's the only other alternative that I know of.
Well, that makes me think, do they do lacrosse, right? Do they do fall sports there? And that may be an issue. If it's that Saturday, there may be fall sports
They'll do
going
soccer
on.
and
Yeah,
maybe
they'll do
basketball.
Question to ask them, do you have any events going on? And if not, maybe we use this property. But I can certainly chase that out.
I think it's a great, nothing's going to be perfect. And I think that, I think it's a great option to try it here and it's pretty centrally located everywhere. And then it will give, everybody, I think from fire department to police to public works, all a great experience at maybe why, you guys are the first ones to do it in a long time.
Sounds good. And we can also, if this is what we want to commit to, we maybe can look back at our events and venues or vendors and maybe scale that back just a little bit so we allow more room for parking.
Okay,
We can always
Adjust,
things.
yeah.
We can look at things.
I was gonna say maybe even just schedule things. So like this is maybe, I just think of like Mr. Drew and his animals thing, like this one and this one and this one.
so do it from like 10 to
Yeah,
12 and
you know
then
what I'm
have them
saying?
lead and do something else from 12 to 2.
We actually, I apologize, I wasn't prepared to speak on it tonight. She brought it up, reminded me, we do have certain events that we're looking to schedule.
Okay.
One idea came from a community day that I helped run out where I'm from. Just a simple community egg toss. We had it, have it scheduled at 1:30. I've learned to understand that there's different versions of egg toss.
My husband is a champion egg tosser. I'm just letting you know that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
He is. The towns aren't purchasing them, they're expensive.
So, we're looking at things like that, maybe have a prize for whoever the winner is, the group or whatever, have
Yeah.
that event scheduled. The K-9 demonstration would be a scheduled event because that officer needs to be available for calls. Obviously.
Right.
So that'd be a scheduled event. We've also looked at Life Flight, having a scheduled demonstration of that, which brings up area space again, is having an area large enough to land a helicopter that they can land it, demonstrate it, talk about it, and then leave. Daylight, they need a minimum of 50 by 50 area to land.
You want to call on Ashley? She was raising her hand.
Ma'am?
So what if, since it's a community day, what if you guys just stay at your locations and then whoever wants to visit your location goes to your location? Instead of everybody coming to one central location, be like, hey, come see our fire trucks at the fire department, or hey, see the cop cars at the police station, and like utilize the whole town to make them, so it's not all one big cluster in one area.
I think that'd be a great option, a great idea. The only thing I see would be certain of our vendors, where we're gonna place them, where we're gonna house them.
You could have this as like a central location.
Yeah. Our location at Central Station, for some of the demonstrations we're looking to do, we don't have room for. So it would just simply get them looking at the trucks and station.
That kind of made me think of like, have you ever been to open farm days? Like different farms around the whole state kind of do their little thing. So like some have goats, some have alpacas, some have cows, and you get to kind of drive all around too. I know Litchfield has quite a few. I think we've had, your dad's done that before, hasn't he?
Probably not. He doesn't like people that much.
I was just thinking, because Auburn just kind of had something like that with their public works.
It's kind of a good
And my
idea.
son like got to climb up into like their loader or their dump truck, but they kept all the equipment inside. And they had like a little, I don't know, like a map to follow around and get a sticker to prize at the end, so.
And then this could be the end location
Yeah.
where the food trucks
I would
are.
say you could do this stuff here.
Something to play around with.
Yeah.
I think you'll learn a lot from your first event.
Laura wants to help you.
No.
I can see the enthusiasm.
I'm ready.
Sure.
Yep.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All in favor? Opposed? New business,
The one everybody's been waiting
commit
for.
taxes.
The one everybody's been waiting for.
Okay. So this year, we picked up $7.3 million in new value. We're currently at 70% of market value, according to our certified ratio from the states. That means our homestead exemption is 17,500 and our veterans exemption is $4,200. Last full reval 2007, market adjustment was done in 2020, right before changes in the market. So what you have in front of you are three options.
I don't have that. I don't have
Mill rate right now is 1910.
that. We don't have that.
Well, you had them all in your email.
Oh.
Right here, just don't tear them apart because you have to sign one.
Turn the card.
You can look at, you can take that one.
Nobody.
Is there only three?
Those are your three options. You're just gonna have to look.
You guys keep down there, Laura, can look at mine and.
Oh, thank you.
So
Yeah, that's-
tax rate for 2024 was $19.10. Options in front of you, $19.90, which gives us an $11,907 overlay. $19.95, which gives us a $31,000 overlay, and $20, which gives us a $50,000 overlay. Our overlay last year was $21,909. Year before that, it was $11,000. Year before that, it was $564.
I'd like to make a recommendation that you go with the lowest one because our undesignated fund balance is in a good spot. We really don't need to build that extra. So I think you're in a good spot to go with the 1990 is the lowest.
19950.
1990 is the lowest.
Yeah, 1990 is the lowest. You just don't have that one, I don't think.
I'm gonna say I don't see that one.
Yeah, she must have-
50 is the only one I see.
Look to your right, Tracy. What's by your other elbow?
Oh, here it is. This one. It's this one.
Oh, it's on this one.
Oh, those
Okay.
are the three options.
people know who
Okay,
you
I was
are.
Oh,
confused.
they're all three.
Okay.
Yes.
My name is Donna Hayes and I'm the associate agent for the town of Sabbath.
That's all right. I just
I'm sorry, I
want,
thought they all were.
I
People
didn't
don't know who you
I
are.
didn't think they'd be there.
Okay, so
And
Yeah.
how many abatements did we have last year?
No.
I do not know,
Off the top of your head?
don't know,
Okay,
not much.
all right.
You know, 9 times out of 10, if I have an abatement, I have a supplemental bill that offsets it. The difference is an abatement comes out of the overlay, the supplemental bill goes into a regular tax general fund. So even though it might be an offset, it doesn't always look like an offset because they're not posted to the same place.
So if we choose not to do an overlay,
Yeah, if you choose not to, you choose not to. Well, I didn't give you an option. I gave you an option of your lowest of 11,000.
okay.
Yeah.
Because that would change the mill rate.
Well, and it would change the mill rate. The lowest mill rate that you could go is $19.87. That's the lowest you can go. That would probably give you a $500 overlay. And you know, it's 3 cents for everybody to have a little bit of a safety as an overlay. I mean, an overlay just isn't abatement. This also takes care of uncollected taxes and any error that might have been made in the process of commitment.
I'll make the motion.
All right.
For which one?
A motion to set this year's mill rate at 1990 with an overlay of 500.
11,000, is that it?
You want
Sorry.
this one?
Yeah, 31, so
No.
1990 with an overlay of $11,907.87.
I'll second it.
Any more discussion?
So this is the one we got to sign.
You gonna just open it to the floor, I'm sorry. I guess it's not.
Any comments from the floor?
You gotta remember, you just pulled $1 million out of the undesignated surplus. Don't be spending it like it's home cash, that's all they ask. We took years to build that up to $3.6 million, and now we're down to $2.6 million. We pay everything in cash, just all I ask is don't squander the money.
All in favor? Opposed?
Donna,
Can I have 2 more minutes of your time?
I was just gonna ask you to explain the valuation piece. This, because you said we're at 70% valuation.
So we're at 70%. We keep dropping, of course, because the market changes. I have no idea how much money we put away
That's that one.
in the revaluation capital line. I'm assuming we do. Now that we have a manager, I would like to propose that maybe we think about putting out an RFP, depending on how much money we have. An RFP to do a full revaluation, it's at least 3 years before a company is even available to bid on doing the job. So we see what's out there and maybe we can see how much money we have in order to do it.
Because that valuation affects everything, correct? As you drop below 70.
We drop below 70, you know, the state has the right to also ding our reimbursements, such as our tree growth reimbursement and any veterans reimbursements.
And so you already said the homestead exemption has been reduced this year?
Our homestead exemption, any of our exemptions is reduced by our ratio. So if homestead exemption is $25,000 in value, for us, it's worth the 17 because we're at 70%. It also means I have to apply it to all tree grows, all personal property, central main power. Anything that's not our real estate needs to be valued and then reduced by 30%. So closest that we can get to 100% is good for everybody. And if we go to 100%, it will also drop the mill rate. Mill rate doesn't stay the same. Higher the value, the lower the mill rate, lower the value, the higher the mill rate. Still have to come up with the same amount of value of taxes.
Yeah, I know.
So I'll talk to Raquel in the next few weeks and we'll see what we got. And I'd just like your permission to explore sending out an RFP.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you need a motion?
Yes.
Okay, make a motion that we allow Donna Hayes, the assessor for the town of Sabattis, to do an RFP to see what kind of,
So.
what am
sorry.
I looking for? What word am I looking for? It's about reevaluation?
Reeval, yeah.
Okay.
Since it's not on the agenda, do we,
It shouldn't be. Actually, 'cause it's not on the agenda. You're right.
right, so
We
she's
can't
just
put- we
asking for
can't-
permission.
Okay, then I'll redo that, then forget it.
Yeah, just, it's permission. We're just
Right,
exploring.
right.
Yeah,
And so
Okay.
then it will come, and when it comes, we do.
that's fine. Okay.
So Pastor Russ Stewart, do we vote on the 1990 then? Yes.
Yes, everybody voted on that. George, where were you?
I know, I just filled it in, that's why.
Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you
Yes,
next
okay.
week.
Pastor Russ Stewart.
I'm sorry.
Doing.
Sign the paper?
They're working on it. Yeah, I've got it. Gotcha.
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
Pastor Russ.
How are you?
Good.
I want to thank you guys for making some more time for me to share here. I want to pass this out if you guys would like it. It's the exact same one that I have from the last few times I've been here. It's up to
I'll just
you.
look at it while
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking.
Yeah, good. Anybody would like one? I'll pass these out,
Thank you.
of course.
Thanks.
And thank you for getting me on the agenda so quickly.
No problem.
If anybody is interested as I'm talking along, some of you have heard exactly what I'm going to say, so just be patient because other people haven't. So my name is Russell Stewart. I have basically called Sabattis and the surrounding towns my home for my entire life. And I have built businesses in this area. I've had 5 generations of my family have called Sabattis our home. My first home was here. And for the past 16 years, I've had the incredible privilege of being the pastor of the Community Baptist Church right on Main Street, across the Main Street Market. So that's that. During that time, although we're really not talking about the church, but I wanted to say a couple of things about the church that says a little something about me, I think. The church is not only done what people expect the church to do, weddings, funerals, a place to gather if they would like to, but we've also tried really, really hard to be the community church. We've tried to reach, we've tried to help. We've done all kinds of things to that end. We had food pantry there for years and years and years to try to help those in need. The homestead ministry has been fantastic, a place to drop off likely used goods, and often we sell some of them, but more often we give them away. And to individuals who need them, who had a fire in their house or they're homeless or whatever, we try to be able to meet that need that way. Several other ways where we can just help as collections of the church go out to the community. We've got community day events every year. We try to do that and support something other than the church. As we have donations, it never comes back to us as part of our outreach that way. We give scholarships for the last, I don't know how many years, to Oak Hill students from the homestead and from a couple others in our congregation. So there's lots of ways we're trying to do that. But this is a little bit different. For the past, I don't know how many years, maybe 12, I don't know exactly the date. I've been trying to obtain the property that the mill used to be on. The old mill property, 10 Green Street, right on the other side, behind the church, right on the other side of the river. Right now it's a little bit grown up. And over the years, I've offered to obtain, when the building was up. That would have been a really bad idea, I think. But now that it's down, I've been trying to do that. And I'll just say up front, by obtaining, I'm not asking to obtain usage. I'm asking to obtain the property and to have the property turned over to a nonprofit that I started in 2020 with that property in mind. There are some things with the property that makes it a slightly more higher liability potential, and I couldn't connect it to the church, so I started 4C Ministries, Christian Community Connection Center, and that's exactly what I was hoping to be able to do in that space. If you want to take a look, you can. I had just some short-term goals, some long-term goals, just potential of what could be done with the property, and I'll share what they are. And of course, these are just ideas. I had an immediate vision, could be some overflow parking for our church events. Sometimes that is a problem, you know, when we're blocking up all of Main Street for whatever events, that would be a spot that they could go. Fall Festival, that's the outreach we do. We have bounce houses and food and all kinds of things happening there once a year, but again, it gets full. So some of that could happen in that space. It's a pretty good size. I don't know if it's an acre and a half, 2.5, somewhere in there. Is the property size. Homestead Thrift Store Yard Sale. We've had that. We actually had a free day just the other day, and it's a possibility some things could be over there. Holiday events like the live nativities that we do. We bring people in and we do different stuff, stations of lacrosse or whatever, but different things. It's right in the center of town, and I think it'd be a great location for the community to gather and to have different things that way. Memorial Day parking, of course, that's can sometimes be a problem as well. Short-term version, I had maybe putting a walking bridge over from there back to the back of the church, which would give access to both sides. That would be something that couldn't be with the town. That'd be another organization to talk about that. I had some picnic tables down there, just some place for families to gather, potentially a playground. I've been talking to several of the schools in our greater area, and when they make upgrades, to try to talk to some about maybe getting some of the good parts. They usually do the whole area, and maybe be able to obtain some of those and put them in the space. I had, of course, lighting and security would be a big thing. And we don't want to have a community space where it's not safe to be. So part of it would be to have some lighting in that area that would come on, not be blinding anybody or the neighbors, but have the space be lit enough so young families would feel comfortable utilizing it. Long-term vision was things like this, a farmer's market, maybe a pavilion for some community concerts, you know, having down there by the water, having a pavilion, some bands or some things like that, and people could be looking right down. Maybe getting a gazebo there, ice skating rink for the winter, possibly. Be able to just make a flat area and do that. That'd be fun for the kids to have a space to do that. Movie nights, graduation, wedding photos. If we did a good enough job and they wanted to be there, and I think we could, it'd be a place, a few places around. And you see families gather to have some nice photos that way. But this last one, I really wanted to mention a kiosk for the history of the town and to memorialize the mill that was there. I really would like something on my mind's eye is that little upper area that's level with Green Street, maybe, or maybe over by the left there by where the street crosses. Have something that just says this space has been a very important space in our community. And for years and years and years, it gave people a place to work. It brought in lots and lots of taxes over the years. And it was, even before Sabattis, I think it was Webster at one point. So I think that we should do our best to honor that. And when they were taking the building down, I was able to talk with Almighty Waste and get a few items. There's some granite that the town actually has some pieces of granite that came out of the mill that would be nice to have on site. I have some big, huge gears that could be put together in some sort of an artistic representation of what the mill used to do, and have that there, as well as some information, pictures, a few things, just give people a snapshot of what the space was. Of course, it's not just about what it is, about what it was. And then in here, I just took some pictures offline. I just have potential of what they could be. And you look it over, you can ask me any questions. I've been here a few times, which is all right. Right, I mean, the selectmen board has turned over a lot. I mean, we haven't always had a town manager, so it's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So I'm hopeful that you and the town, anybody would see that that would be a valuable thing for our community that may actually attract families to want to be there. Because some people, when they look at a town, they look at what does it offer more than just a place to be. So I'd like to, just like the church, I'd like to leave the place better than I find it. So I'm open to any questions you might have about it.
Laura does.
Yeah, good.
So I just have a question, because in your picture here, all of these residents, have we asked any of them, residents, business owners, their thoughts of having bands and concerts in their backyard?
No, we haven't.
No, okay.
And that, of course, that's always something that would have to be considered.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just speak for myself. Maybe I'm over courteous. I imagine what it's like. I would like to, if we're gonna do it, it should be done at a certain hours. It should end. And maybe just invite them over. But there's always that possibility when you're on a space that has neighbors. But like I said, with the lighting, I wouldn't want it facing towards any of their spaces. I have my associate pastor, that's what he did for a living before he became a pastor. So he knows exactly how to set that lighting right, did all the Hannaford's and stuff like that.
And then the thought about, because we had a conversation before about leasing, donating, buying. What do you want to do with the land?
Okay,
All kind
I
of,
would like to obtain it. I would like to actually have it turned over.
So you want the town to give it to you?
I do.
Okay.
And I do, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
I can't possibly raise the funds to purchase it and then try to also to develop it into a community space. And I understand that that's not going to happen. I just would rather spend anything we raise for funds into actually making it a space. And so, yeah, that's what I was asking for. And the leasing, I don't think I'm interested in that. I mean, we're here 12 years later, and I haven't been able to get a decision. So I just don't want to have that as a connection, I guess. So, but it is asking a lot to say, here, here's 2.5 acres. One thing I can say about it is there are very limited things that can be done with the property because of how it's been covered. And you can't dig foundations, you can't put a lot of things down because it was intentionally covered in a specific way to not have problems in the future. So that limits what can be done on the space. It's always parking. I mean, the town can do whatever they want with it. You can mow it, you could probably have your event there. So I don't know, it's a thought. But
Oh, great.
honestly, that's just a thought. So, yeah, I would just look to obtain it.
Yeah.
And have it turned over to this nonprofit, which is not the church. It's separate.
So with that, what are the stipulations on that piece of property? Because we hear the tanks are still buried and
Right.
you can't do anything with it. The public works dumps their snow, right?
Yeah.
And so what's the plan with all that? This is,
Well, there isn't a plan because
Right.
if the snow removal isn't happening, where are we going to put the snow?
Better be hiring more men to truck snow.
To truck it, yeah.
And he's gonna be ugly if his church isn't cleared in front, and so is Brad if the store is not cleared in front.
Right.
Yeah, no, we've always appreciated it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
And we've always appreciated the fact that even in the back of the church, you push.
Right, we push it all down, we clear out the side of the church and everything too, so we lose,
Nothing can be done with that,
we lose a yard and
There can't be
That's
any
different.
foundations or
I mean,
anything.
at the
No,
beginning-
there's no digging.
at the beginning, I wouldn't be
Right.
having everything there, that makes sense.
Power.
But the truth is,
Have to be
you can't have
above
a
ground.
space that you can have people coming in all the winter
I think it's
and
pretty
have
much a
huge
wash. I
snow
think
piles
we have to keep
unless
We have to.
you do something with
I
it.
think we have to keep that.
I do.
Why?
Because you can't.
Can I also just ask
Sure.
Do
what,
anything with it.
I'm sorry.
Does. Go ahead.
Can I ask what you've gotten for responses over the last 12 years?
Okay. It's been always apparently positive. That's a great idea. We should bring it to the town for a vote. Several times I've been right there only to have a town manager leave. And apparently nobody's leaving and not allowing me that opportunity. But it's always been a question, which is fine. We got to answer these questions. But at some point, we just got to decide, yes, I think that's a good idea. Let's start down that path towards doing it and deal with things as we go. Or just shift my focus to another space, or if I can even find one, you know? So, but I've had really good responses from people in the community, from people who have been in attendance. There's always been good questions, like the snow removal, that's definitely a big one that has to be considered, of course. But the board usually has been thinking it was a positive thing. We've even talked about having some of, can't think of the name of it right now, but you bring all the vegetables in and you have all, you know,
Farmer's market?
farmer's
Let
market.
me tell you, I got some
It's
papers on
endless
that.
what that could be possible for making the community have a space to go and have the community come in and enjoy it.
I know we've discussed this in the past, and is it insurance? I'm looking at you because you're the one standing now. Was it well, from everyone else that I've been on the board with. Was there insurance things? What was, because I don't, from what I've gotten since I've been on the board, because I think you've come, this might be your third time that I've seen you.
Yes.
I
we've seen
think-
each other, but many times before.
Right, but I think since I've been on the board, it's been your third time.
Yeah.
I personally think it's all great ideas. But then I hear Public Works say that's what they use.
Yeah.
So my thought is, there's a lot of, this is a possibility. As you look at the public, as you're speaking, you see head shaking, you see smiles. Is there something, but I really feel there was an insurance reason why we didn't let you, because maybe we could do something, maybe not put the playground there. I don't know, but movie nights would be great, maybe a farmer's market.
But remember with the insurance, unless I'm misunderstanding something, the insurance would be on the nonprofit because it would be turned over to the nonprofit and it wouldn't be insurance on the town.
Well, I understand that. I'm saying like if we keep the property, no.
No.
And that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
So I think that's just
yeah.
where we come into a hard,
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it can't be developed.
right,
But it's
yes,
not
and
being
we know
developed.
that.
But it can be developed on top. I mean, everything that can be put in, a pavilion can be put in on wheels. It's a trailer. You can roll it right in there, and you could move it. The gazebo could be put on wheels. It doesn't have to have a foundation. No.
So can I ask the board?
John? Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
John.
As close as it is to High Street, to Main Street. And I lived on Green Street for several years, and I go down Green Street at least twice a week. You have very, very limited parking on the road. I don't see that property being opened up enough to have parking for movie nights, farmer's market night, off-road. You do not have a sidewalk over there. People who are gonna walk over there, it's a fairly dangerous road.
And that is a concern. And I know at one point they were talking about bringing the sidewalk around. At one point, that was something that was talked about. That'd be one of the reasons why I would think if a walking bridge could be between there and our parking lot beside the church, which would give access to Main Street and of course the parking lot across at the old town office. That would be, because parking's always been an issue there. That's why the church has purchased other property, because you just couldn't get, if you're 80% full or you can't find parking, you stop running. So that's why we purchased other buildings and dropped the barn at 17 Main Street. So we had parking out back, purchased the old town hall, so we get parking over there. So yeah, I get you. But I think there's ways around it. I mean, just because you can't get 75 cars on there and do something, you can still get 25. And some people can walk, they can choose to walk. Maybe you can do that. But I get what you're saying. It isn't No place is ideal.
Mr. Curran?
This young lady with the before me.
You always do that.
You can go. You can go, JP. He'll get to me eventually.
For those that don't know me, my name is JP Curran. I was on the board for a while. A couple of things, this discussion on that property, there's a book out in the office that identifies everything that can and can't be, and it has to be permitted through the state. So if the town wants to give it away, that term or whatever, it has to go through and make sure that all state regulations are covered.
I looked at that 1,000-page report when they did it. I looked that over probably 10 years ago in as much depth as I could before I knew any kind of decision that would be made. I mean, obviously, those things have to be answered. You know, if it's a yes, hey, let's move forward, some of those would have to be answered. What can we do? What can't we do, for sure?
Well, I'm sure some things have changed due to the fact that the river has been redirected. So there's a lot of wetlands.
Yep.
Okay.
Tracy?
Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong. When the puppet place was there, did they own the building or was it leased to them? What was done with that puppet building?
The puppet was owned by them.
Yeah. Dream Center,
Then what happened is they did not pay their taxes and the town took it over by foreclosure.
Okay, and that's how it stands now,
Yes.
that the town took it over by foreclosure? Okay, I'm just gonna say, that piece of property is an eyesore.
Yep.
Horrible. I think it looks terrible on what is that? Is that
One
Green
Elm Street? Is that one? One Elm Street?
No. Oh, yeah, I saw that sign the other day. On Green Street, it's a horrible looking piece of property. It's terrible to me. If we could beautify it, it would be great. I mean, if somebody wants to take over and do something with it, I think it's a great thing. I also think that Pastor Russ needs a decision tonight and not be brought back here again and again and again. Or we move forward to having Raquel look into a few things and then come back and make a decision. I will tell you up front, I will not vote on this. I go to Community Baptist Church. Pastor Russ is my pastor. So I am not going to vote on this when it comes up due to anything looking funky. So I'm going to abstain from voting when this does come around. But I do think that piece of property needs to be beautified in some way. I mean, you look at Green Street of Sabattis and let's face it, it doesn't look great right now.
One Elm Street.
Yeah, one of them, it's another matter.
Dennis?
So perhaps you might have to repeat some. If you've been here so many times, you may have already addressed this.
Maybe.
I'm only hearing this for the first time. And this sounds like a wonderful plan. But I don't see anything about money. I mean, what the cost of these things? Do you have any kind of a proposal? And I think it would be premature of the town to just grant this land over
Agreed.
Right.
without having some assurances that what is being proposed can be followed through on.
And I would just say, and I agree with you, and of course, I haven't pursued all that because it's never been a reality. It's always come so close. Some of the things could be done immediately. I mean, I have tractors, backhoes, I have bush hogs. I could definitely make it look better, like in a week. It would look much better, that part. Some of these things wouldn't need anything. Some parking and some different events that could happen there, to set tables up, and take them down. One thing I can say, as a pastor over the past 16 years, I'm leaving people volunteer, right? I mean, it's all depending on who's coming and who's giving voluntarily. So I've been around that in one sense and been, I would say, fairly successful for a town this size to be able to purchase 4 or 5 buildings and still make an impact in our community. I've been trying, I even lifted the front of the church up and we recaptured that whole front and put.
I think it's a great idea, and I don't want to shoot holes in your plans, but I'll just go back to the previous owners of the mill, all right? And I only know this as rumor, I have no facts behind it, but you mentioned the puppeteers that were there. They acquired that property for like $1, okay? Because the previous owners just wanted to unload it. They wanted to get their name off the title and give it away. And then look what happened to it afterwards. Nothing. It just continued to go downhill. I'm suggesting that, I think that property belongs to the whole town. It belongs, as a citizen, I own part of that property. And I'd like to know that if it's being gifted or granted, that there would be some follow through, and that needs to be supported. To me, that would have to be supported with some dollars. Hey, it's gonna cost this much for parking lot. Does the community Baptist Church have the financial wherewithal to do all the things that you have pictured here?
Well, first off, it wouldn't be the church.
Oh.
Just so you know, this is not the church. This is a nonprofit I started in 2020, 4-C Ministries. And just so, because I need a separation. Because what if something did come up with liability?
So does your nonprofit have the financial wherewithal?
The nonprofit has hardly anything right now because there's been no place to do it. I know a lot of people that have said they'd be interested in supporting it, but they're not gonna support something without any space to do anything. So I get what you're saying. But a plan obviously makes sense to have, hey, this is kind of what we expect. If we had to buy new, we'd do some of that. And I know maybe some of the farmer's market stuff has been talked about being donated.
Anytime you would like the books, I got them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the binders, the boxes.
John?
And, go ahead. Yeah.
Isn't there an article in the town meeting warrant every year that the selectmen can dispose of property up to a certain amount, and we have to go through the town meeting? This would have to go to the town meeting.
It does. It would have to be voted on.
To the charter.
You are correct.
Laura?
So that's what I was gonna kind of suggest is that, possibly, is it an option to do a little more research on what we can even do with those pieces and what that plan would be? And then would we be able to do like a public meeting where community members could come ask the pastor? Because maybe there's more people interested in doing other things with it too, if it's up for, and then personally, from a fiscal responsibility, I would not be interested in donating it. I'd be interested in selling it to something that would generate revenue back to the town with
But
whatever.
you're so limited on what you can do with it.
That's okay.
Nobody could build on it.
But I don't know what other people's plans maybe are either, so.
Of course, the town should.
Yeah.
I mean, town should have that opportunity and take that space to do it.
This is the best thing to do with that property. It's centrally located, it would be great for the community. I support you there, but I look at it from a business perspective and I say, great ideas have to be backed up with the money to do it.
And I do want to share one other thing, because you are a businessman and you're very successful. There's no doubt about it. For years, I built an oil company with a family oil company since I was in high school. And my father's getting so old now that it's time to go down, but it was always very successful. For years, I had my own heating company. I had a master oil burner technician, and I serviced the whole area. Was doing very, very well with that, with Cornerstone Heating, until I felt, because I was building a house, my own house, and I was doing my own business, and I was preaching, and it was too much. And when the opportunity came up for the church, they wanted someone full-time, I let it go. So I do have some experience in that, in understanding the business world as well. It's not just like sometimes some pastors, that's all they know. I've been pretty well in every field, construction, plumbing, heating, HVAC.
When you go to buy a home today, the banker wants you to have 20% up front.
Yep.
Okay, so you're asking the town on a vision of yours to donate this property and you got no money to start with. I'm with you on your idea, 100%, but I think it's premature for the town to just, start doing this without having some sort of a business plan.
Let me say, and I think it's a great idea. Let me just ask you a question, or should I?
Yeah, I was just doing a quick time check as well. We have quite a few more items to go on. So if we could maybe look at what some options are, and you have some information, and could we do some investigation with that, and then maybe have a public meeting where public could ask questions?
I could come back with cost of a pavilion, to build a pavilion. I have trailers already that are big enough to do that. I could do it, 26-foot mobile home, building tow behinds. I could do that. Gazebos, tables that be donated. I could already maintain the property. I could donate one of my tractors with the bush hogs to it. I have a dunk tank already that is purchased under that, just for some fun thing. We used it at the fall festival. But I could certainly come with that. I'm already.
So why
getting-
don't you and I try to work together a little bit and see what the limitations of the property are, and
Absolutely.
we don't need a motion.
Okay.
We don't need a motion. So we'll do that.
Just a couple questions. Anything you're doing require planning board approvals?
Yes.
I think that we certainly will need, once you start going through it, and any time a building goes on there. I mean, mowing it, I can't imagine that it would.
Would it,
Use, right?
Beautifying it,
would
Just
that
the-
need a planning board approval?
Yes.
Pretty much anything he wants to do in it.
Absolutely.
Have to come to the planning board.
Okay.
Because you're building on the
Usage.
property itself and the usage, the change of use.
Okay,
but you're just trying to, but just to mow it down and to make it look good. And
Mowing,
I would
not so
suggest
much,
contacting the
but-
CEO or just checking with her.
Yeah.
I'm near the water, but I'm not gonna be real, whatever, I'm gonna do it there it is, and everything, just check with her. I don't know if you can tell you.
What were you saying, Mark? What did you?
It's just the liability behind anything, even mowing it down,
Yeah,
water, whatever.
a
That's
lot
why you
of
don't
that is
ask.
gravel.
Right.
A lot of it was gravel. It doesn't look like gravel right now, but grass grows in gravel all the time. But most of that whole area was covered with almighty waste with gravel as part of how it was capped. So
The
a lot of
mowing
bringing
part
big.
wouldn't be the issue.
The
Tell the
building.
person to go in there and mow it down, and we can get it ready for Adam's safety day. You know what I mean? The town meeting and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm just using that as an example. And there's the building and
what goes on it?
And then on top of that, we do have water there, so we have to make sure we're following the ordinances for the waterfront as well as wetlands.
Okay, all right, great. So you're gonna,
He and I will
Gonna
work
work together.
together. Yep, we'll do some investigating.
So we're gonna table it on a good note this time.
she's gonna table it on a good note this time.
Okay.
All right, so,
And as we move forward, Raquel, I would just like to add that I agree with Mr. Malin, that we actually should have a plan. If we do it, in 60 days, this is what we're gonna see, in 90 days, this is what we're gonna see, so that there's a plan, and there's a financial responsibility for him, so that going forward, if he doesn't meet that requirement, then,
we go back to the town.
and that,
Yes.
and essentially the same thing, if we sell it to him for $1, the church or the nonprofit would not be able to sell it, they have to sell it back to us for that same.
Right, well, that would all
Oh,
have
for
to
sure.
stipulated in the deed,
Right.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Pastor
Thank
Russ.
you.
Dennis Mayotte, trash ordinance.
Yes, so very briefly, I wanted to try to spark a little debate or discussion about, thank you for mentioning that Green Street looks trashy, because that's why I'm here tonight. My street looks trashy. And when I recently talked with code enforcement and with the town manager about it, I learned that we don't really have a strong enough ordinance to be able to enforce any kind of cleanup. I know this is a touchy subject because everybody views their possessions on their private property differently. And it's not one person's, judgment over what's junk or not junk of another person's. But I think that there are some properties in the village area, I call the village downtown, that are, I think everybody would agree, they're very trashy. I tried to read the ordinances that we currently have to get be prepared a little bit, get a better understanding for this evening. When I made remarks, and I saw that we have a junkyard ordinance that primarily deals with automobiles. In fact, it even has one section that goes out of its way to say, this is what a automobile junkyard is not. And then it begins to identify some of the things that need to be dealt with, taken care of. So an automobile junkyard ordinance doesn't cover trash and radiators and agricultural junk, for lack of a better term. It seems that we have a very wordy and a very strong, not dump ordinance, but solid waste ordinance, it's called. Lots of language in there, but we have no kind of ordinance or no language that governs being able to approach a private landowner and say, clean it up, get it cleaned up. Yes.
So since I spoke to you, today I got an ordinance, a sample ordinance out to them to address those very things. So I've given it to them for input, so they could get me input. And on the next meeting, we're gonna have, on the agenda will be a discussion about that ordinance. And then once it passes here, then it has to go to a town vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't know how the process works. I just wanted to spark some debate and maybe put a bug in your ear or how, I don't know how to get something like this.
Right. So with any luck, we can get out the kinks and what have you and make changes to what we have so that could be voted on in the spring. It won't make it for November, but in the spring.
Mr. Kern?
So it's just wait. We have to wait until we have.
We have to have an ordinance. We need an ordinance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about public safety and sanitation and that sort of thing? I mean, one particular site that I'm mostly concerned with is right in front of my business. There's open trash on the ground.
The code enforcement officer and I visited there yesterday and spoke to the young lady. No one else was home. And they said that part of the trash, you had let them use a trailer to take some of it away.
I put my dumpster over there.
Okay, so that's what she meant. Okay, and they were hopeful that you were gonna do that again so they could finish cleaning it up. So, but yeah.
Not funny.
I'll do it again. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah, that's where that ended up.
So nothing else can be done in the meantime regarding
Correct.
sanitation or public safety?
I don't think the health officer can go over, but I don't think there's enough there that's gonna cause anything for a health issue. That's just my opinion. The health officer, we can send him.
Mr. Kern?
Back in 2004, my brother and I bought some land and we started development on Evergreen Lane. What these ordinances you're talking about existed at the time. I know Rick and I have worked many times with these ordinances and nobody seems to find them, but there are existing ordinances somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know, have any
Those things
idea.
were signed off and they covered a lot of the things that gentleman is talking about. For instance, you can only have one unregistered vehicle in the yard. The yard has to be clean and proper, no hazardous materials of any kind, all that stuff. I don't remember all that was on it, but we spent a lot of hours when I was in the planning board rewriting all these things.
Yep, the ordinances that we have that are online are the only ones that we have in a book. So I have no idea what happened to any of those old ones.
And I may still have copies.
I have a book.
Would it be improper for me to ask the board at this time if there's a consensus or a leaning one way or another? Or is this just going to be tabled and I leave with this notion that nothing's going to happen until next spring? I mean, is the board in favor of doing something about this?
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That means a lot to me.
We on the planning board would back him because I know there's a couple of us that have been asking for a while, way back to code enforcement before about upholding this. And just a quick review, I did find some residential solid waste ordinance in here about what they should and should not have on their yard. So there is one.
What is
So I'm
that
looking at
under?
it online.
What is it?
Yeah, me too.
It's residential solid waste, means solid waste generated by an individual and family activity. It's right on our code of ordinances in Sabatis. And this has been something I've asked Jenny and the previous code enforcers about, and that we need to stop upholding these rules. And one of the comments I got back from one of them, which I won't say, is, well, we'd have to fine them. Well, fine them. Give them the proper amount of chances to do what they need to do, and then give them a time frame. And if that time frame is not met, then the town should start issuing the fines appropriately. And then, if the town has to take them to court, those fines go against the property owner, not the town, because I was told, well, then the town's gonna come up with the funds to take them to court. No, that's not the town's responsibility, that's the homeowner's responsibility.
Is it laid out in that ordinance how that works?
I have to finish reading it. I
Right.
really took me 2 seconds to pull this up.
So let me.
So I would back that gentleman, and if you wanna come to the planning board, meetings, and we can further discuss what you found and compare notes, I'm all for it, because
You know,
I know, but John's been holding his arm up for like 30 minutes. Go ahead, John.
We do have a parking ordinance in town, and it involves not blocking any sidewalks. And on Main Street, somebody has been putting a trailer half in the street and half in the sidewalk with his junk on it, and parking it there for how many other days?
John, I call the police all the time on it.
I saw that.
I talk to the police all the time
We have
about it.
an ordinance that you can go in and ask them to move it, get it off the street, get it off the sidewalk. As far as I know, it's still there.
Mark?
The Sebastian police do not have parking tickets. I've asked them for years to get parking tickets. They don't know how to get them. Okay? Now, on the ordinance that you were talking about, it says the Sebastian Police Department will enforce this ordinance, which is the solid waste ordinance. That's their
Yes,
job.
and that says that in the solid waste ordinance.
Yes, it says it right in solid waste and explains everything, what you're not supposed to have, tires, and all that stuff.
It even talks about, if third-party haulers bring trash to the transfer station, describes what kind of containers the rubbish needs to be in. And yet we got rubbish that's not even in containers and split open plastic bags laying on the ground.
Right.
It seems to be a big disconnect there.
Yeah.
Now, the former CEO made a contract with the person on Main Street to clean up his yard. Gave him so many days to clean it up. Where that has gone, I have no idea.
you cleaned it up somewhat.
We have Jerry bring it.
Yeah, it is cleaned up a little bit.
Put it on, put it
That's
on.
no joke.
I think he did it enough to satisfy in the moment.
See? JP.
Line of what Mark says, was part of the, challenging of some of the people in their yards. And one of them was affordable well drilling. One of them was
Affordable well.
on Main Street, and there were several people. But the only thing I ran across with the code enforcement officer is that they don't get support. And they requested numerous times to have a police representation with them when they confront people, because some people can get pretty arrogant. So just a heads up.
Okay, I'll look into that, but I think we've already read it.
Thank you.
I think there's a difference between work junk and filth.
There is.
Okay,
But in the ordinance I'm looking at, it basically breaks down kind of like what you're describing.
yes.
What is acceptable, what's not acceptable, and like JP was just saying, I mean, when somebody does go to the door for the safety of the CEO, an officer should be present
Of course.
and say, these are the guidelines.
No, what Noel is saying is when you have a business that's working and they're using parts and moving stuff
Right.
around. That's different than somebody that's just order.
Right.
Right.
And sorry, just to recap, we're going to review some of the ordinances. You're going to talk with code enforcement and police, and then maybe the planning board.
Well, I need to look at this residential solid waste closer, I guess, and
Okay.
see if it addresses anything that we're talking about.
Okay.
I gotta take a drive.
And Jenny and I will sit down and look at that.
I don't
Okay.
ever go down
Yeah,
there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna take a drive for myself.
All right, D.
D. All right, municipal parking lot bid. So the bids, I sent you guys the bids. They all came in above what what was appropriated during the vote, so
Not gonna happen.
not gonna happen.
Okay.
Same with the cleaning bid, and I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but I guess we're cleaning ourselves
Can I ask what that municipal parking lot bid was?
for the
Crack ceiling,
here,
crack ceiling.
Where?
here.
Here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because there used to be a municipal parking lot.
Oh,
And it was the building, it was the land next to the old town hall. That's in that parking ordinance from whatever. was.
yeah, it was for here. So that's not happening. Cleaning bid, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Maybe go,
George said he'd do it.
Do we put them back out to bid or?
yeah, we can.
Okay.
But I think we're gonna have to adjust maybe 2 days a week to one. Just have somebody come in once a week. I don't know.
how many hours was it for the
I think it was 6 to 8. It was 2 days a week,
2 days a week, 6 to 8? So,
4 hours each. So, yeah. We may have to go down to just 1 day, but
So I'm just wondering if we can review the administrative budget and see if there's any additional funds there
I can ask Holly.
that we can look at.
Yeah.
To see if we can find some, depending on what's in the salary lines.
We can look. We'll figure it out.
all right.
Okay.
We need to appoint Dan Garrett to Dam Commission.
A motion to appoint Dan Garrett to the Dam Commission.
Any discussion?
Second. Give me a second.
No?
Give me a second.
Second.
Second? All in favor? All opposed?
Is he here?
No.
That's okay.
Okay. Here's all your minutes.
All right. Need approval, excuse me. Need approval of Selectman Meeting minutes.
I motion to approve the,
August 5th.
oh, sorry. I motion to approve the August 5th, 2025 Select Board minutes as written and read.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
I was here for all these, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Annual town meeting minutes.
I was
I
there.
motion to approve the annual town meeting minutes as written and read.
I'll second it.
Discussion?
I'm just saying, that was a great town meeting.
Oh, stop. I've heard bad things.
All in favor? Opposed? Select Board meeting minutes, July 18th. I need a
No,
I motion-
you want to do it?
I motion to approve the July 18th, 2025 Select Board minutes as written and read.
I'll second it again.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Oh, Select Board meetings, June 25th.
I motion to approve the June 25th, 2025 Select Board meeting minutes as written and read.
I'll second it again.
Any discussion?
I've not written or read that one at all, so.
Don't raise your hand.
Why not? I sent it to you.
All in favor? Opposed?
Yeah, they're all.
Comments from the board? I should take a minute.
I don't have any tonight.
None from Casey.
You're welcome.
I have one I wrote somewhere, but,
I did too.
I just wanted to, hopefully all of the e-notifications are going out. Raquel and I tested the website and she's put me in charge of that.
Sure have.
So, if there's a spelling mistake or you understand I do 15,000 things and I try my best, but hopefully soon we'll be able to pass that off. And then school is starting soon. So just kind of a reminder to people that you'll see buses out again and kids waiting on the side of the road to get on those buses. And, just to kind of remember that that's starting up next week.
Which day next week?
The 27th.
Wednesday for pre-K, well, K
No.
through
Yeah.
K
K through 9, right?
nine,
K
and
through
then,
9.
I don't know, one goes on Wednesday and one goes on
Thursday,
Thursday.
and then the pre-K goes the day after Labor Day.
Yeah, they're actually starting early this year. It was 2 weeks later last
Any
year.
more comments from the board? Seeing none? Comments from the town manager?
We've been really busy upstairs trying to get new staff trained. That's pretty much been my life since the last meeting. I do want to thank Laura for taking the website over because I think she could see the desperation on my face when she came in and I was trying to post things and they were going in the wrong places.
You didn't give me a choice. You weren't letting me leave.
I know I wasn't. Not till you took the book with you. That's about it. It's been crazy upstairs in the office, so that's been my life.
Matt, do you guys put in the no parking signs next to the Irving? Do you remember that? Who put them in?
State has to.
So the state put those up? I thought Public Works did it.
Route 9, state has to do it.
You're gonna have to check into that. It looks like somebody unbolted it and pulled it.
Oh, because there was that big truck sitting there all the time.
Where is it?
Right there on the side, the road where it's getting all more up again, the mud's coming into the road.
On Route
There's a
9?
big, yeah, right there on the corner, where the light is. There's two no parking signs that were put up and the other one's missing where he parks his truck now.
That's state.
But he's taken it down numerous times.
Okay, I'll look into it. Comment from the chair, that's you.
That was my comment.
Oh,
Before you get
It's
there,
pretty good.
Raquel,
yes, sir.
do we want to address the police here?
I guess you can. You guys didn't make a motion, so. Do you want me to address that?
Sure.
It's not on the, you said,
It's not even done here.
it's not on the
Okay,
agenda.
it's not on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda, but she can address it. We don't have to
No,
vote.
it's not on here.
Okay, nope,
Make it from a,
nope, nope, nope.
we can't wait.
So many people are gonna ask questions, guys.
So at this juncture, the interim police chief, he had asked to become permanent, but we're going to be keeping him as interim, as an administrative chief, and continue searching for a chief that can work on the road. So that's where we're at with that.
Thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank you very much.
Okay, comments on the floor?
Comment? No, treasurer's report.
Oh, what do you do?
You look at it.
I'll make a motion, sorry, Thing's gonna read it.
Look
I
at
don't
it.
want to read it. Where is it? Oh, right here.
Go ahead, George, read it.
I guess. Delinquent taxes collected between 6/1/25 through 8/13/25. Principal 77,231.21. Interest with cost 7,369.90. Total delinquent taxes collected 84,601.11.
I'll make a motion, we accept the treasurer's report as written and read.
Second,
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? All right, comments from the floor. Jake,
I have a few things. I was on the phone, but I made an observation. One,
excuse me, somebody's speaking. Sorry.
people my age don't hear as well as we used to when we were 25. And the number of times I lost what the discussion was in the group, as well as discussion from the floor. So if something could be done to just elevate the information, because getting part of the comment is worse than getting no comment. The other thing is, on the ordinances, there's also an ordinance that was written, I don't know, a number of years ago, on gatherings. Now, I missed some of what the fire chief was speaking about. But all of that has to be reviewed. Number one, the planning board has to be involved, the code enforcement officer, and the police department. But there has to be a traffic study made wherever it's chosen. It's all written in the ordinance. And the number of people is limited based on A, B, C, D. So, and that's not only a town ordinance, that's also written by the state, backed up by the state, because basically, we just follow through. Yeah. The other thing is, I heard a rumor that there was a fire at a fire department. I didn't see anything on that. So the question I've been asked is, did they have a permit to burn? And number two, has anybody been reprimanded? Because that was part of the driest period that we've had in the area.
I don't,
We're not even burning their burn barrels.
correct. I don't believe there was any permit pull. I don't know that, but I would doubt it. And as far as reprimanded, they were spoken to and told not to ever do it again.
Well, is that documented somewhere?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
What was the beginning of it when I was in the
Pass the
restroom?
word on.
The fire at the fire department?
No,
he
no.
was
What I-
mentioning a gathering ordinance, for the safety day and anything that's happening.
John?
This gathering he's talking about is the mass gathering ordinance. It's when anticipated 200 people or more.
Or more.
The selectman can just give a permit without any, if it's a social, if it's a community activity, selectmen have the authority to give out the permit with no questions.
It's only come up once. It was for the disc golf when they had that tournament. Yeah.
So I got a question, so put a handicap sign, put a handicap sign on 90 Main Street by the ramp by the church. Now, is that something you can't, Public Works can't do as fast, we gotta go to the state? How do we do that?
Call
Main DOT.
DOT.
And you're not gonna get one there for the simple fact that there has to be so many parking spots before I could show you the book. There has to be so many parking spots before they actually have to allow a handicap spot.
I do know, and I'm not saying it was put up for the right reason. I remember there was one there, because it's underneath the homestead, and it's in that spot when we were redoing that whole front, so I don't know previously happened.
Can you just put one?
But yeah, it makes
Wait,
sense.
for somebody to take it down.
But, I mean, they may put one up, but,
I'll contact.
you know, but I know that when the previous town manager wanted handicap spots put up everywhere, technically, even though we showed him, it didn't have to, because you don't have enough spots, you can't take up
Right.
because of,
What would happen if you ordered one off from somebody?
if you put one up,
Order.
just put it on the fence or something, or on the rail.
Who, is somebody gonna come take it there? Like,
We'd appreciate it. If there wasn't a post there, since we drive up on that sidewalk to clean that sidewalk for you.
I can say as a bachelor, I don't want to be doing something that I shouldn't be.
What about getting
No, but
like
do
a
you know
folding
people?
sign?
Like,
What
do
about
you-
getting like one of them folding signs?
Folding sign would be great.
So then
Right
they,
before church, put a folding sign up.
yeah.
Because that's really what it is, because people are trying to get in and they have to walk all the way from Church Street, my parking lot, and get up on the sidewalk, go all the way down the front, and then double back by the next.
Yeah, get a couple folding ones and then you can just take them down after church.
That might be.
John?
I have 3 or 4 things here, but first of all, I'd like to thank Tracy for attending our rec club meeting Sunday night. She had some good input for us, and I hope she learned, I think she said she learned a little bit about the goings on in the rec club. It was a longer meeting than she anticipated. We had our annual audit, so that took up some extra time. Sorry about that, Tracy.
And that's okay. It was very informative.
Martin's Point, I'm working on a volunteer cleanup day at Martin's Point. I contacted the CEO, I contacted Doug Beck of Land and Water Conservation Fund, and he said, talk to your CEO. I talked to Ginny. She said she will look into it, but it might be a DEP thing. I called the main DEP today and spoke with Deb Callahan. She said the CEO would have authority to cut the brush that's over there and by the beach, and as long as we're not removing rocks or vegetation from the lower lake area, the beach area, then the cleanup day is possible. A couple of people have approached me and said that they would like to see some things done over there for cleanup, so I'm gonna see if we can get some kids from Oak Hill High School to do their community service. Maybe it's August 31st that I have planned, it's Labor Day weekend, but we'll see what happens. Oak Hill Middle School, I thought there was gonna be some kind of a crosswalk or lights or something that the state was gonna put up there for the exit area onto Ballpark Road, and all I see is a cone in the middle of the road and a painted crosswalk. I thought
There's a
the
sign
state was
there.
gonna put lights up or something.
There's a sign there.
No, there are lights going up. Oh, they are going up?
They-
They are going up, all right.
Yeah, from
Okay.
my previous time on the Finance and Facilities Committee, John Barney said the state wasn't able to get any of those signs until 2026 or 2028. I forget what year.
We picked them up already.
Cool.
Yeah, who's the guy that does the lane, the snow plowing?
Larry Netto.
Larry Netto is gonna put them up for us.
Nice.
Because we got signs for all 4 schools.
Because Tony had looked into it previously, and it had to, like, you guys were getting a licensed electrician or something because of the
This is
solar
Yeah.
ability or thing. So, because you needed town involvement. So are you working, is the school working with
Yeah.
Tony on that?
It's supposed to be, yeah, because we picked them up like a month and a half ago.
Matt?
There's two problems with that crosswalk. Number one, where it is the visibility. It does not need visibility. Number two, there's no landing on the opposite side. Right. It's a big no-no. We thought about this. I've painted the crosswalk, but I've asked not to paint it again because you guys send me to school to learn things. It's a big no-no because it's a crosswalk to nowhere. You're gonna put lights up for a crosswalk to nowhere.
Is there a recommendation of someplace else to move it one way or another, or there's not?
You'd have to run the sidewalk down and then there'd have to be a sidewalk on the other side. That's the problem. If you drive up, you can't see.
Oh, I
because
drop
it's
off
on
every
the
day, yeah. And then
So-
like when kids are walking down to the Rusty, I'm like,
I see the kids crossing the road.
But you can't actually see the paint. I mean, if you put a sign
I
on
can't see the
the
paint when I'm driving down the road on Main Street.
and there again, crosswalks have been talked about at Main Street. It can't be a crosswalk next to a stop sign and parking spots. i.e. you'd lose your parking spots, Brad would lose his parking spots. So if anybody asks you about crosswalks down on Main Street, that's why there's none there. Because there has to be, I think it's 25 or 50 feet. Either direction, so no parking spots before crosswalk. There's a big thick book that we have to follow.
Thank you, Matt.
John?
One last thing that I have, Martin's Point Park, again, the deed says that they're supposed to have a plaque memorializing donation from the Martin family. The plaque has been gone for years. I looked into getting a replacement plaque, a bronze plaque, and online it shows that they start at $200. I said, well, this isn't that bad, but when you put in the lettering and the outline of the border and everything, it's like $1,265, $1,400. So I have a request in with Coletti Monuments, and he took down the information that we want. It might be a smaller plaque than they had before, but I'll see what they come up with for a price.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Thanks.
One last note, I do want to thank the public works for putting up the flags and also for hauling my packing gravel to the cemetery last week.
Oh.
Appreciate it very much.
We'll make your packing gravel from now on.
I thought so. I thought. I appreciate that.
Mr. Gaten?
Yeah, I had asked a question at the last meeting about what town spent
Yeah, I've got it right
on the
here.
contract searching for our last police chief and what we got out of it. And now I hear that we're looking for another police chief. We're not gonna hire another company to look for a chief, are we?
No, we're gonna do it ourselves.
All right.
Yeah, and I have that information here.
Well, go ahead, what is it?
Okay, so the grand total that was spent from, when did this start? November to December?
December.
From December until July was 63,000.
63,000.
Yeah.
What did we get out of it? Nothing. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Look at that, just wasn't, hey, John, that wasn't just for recruiting. That was for the police administrator to be here. So it just,
Right, there was, okay, so I've got it broken down. There was 57,000 for payroll.
Right, yeah.
Yes, $774 went into an education training. I'm not sure what that consisted of. $2,216 for legal, which was an internal review that was done. And then another $26.46 for contract fees, which kind of ties into payroll.
Yeah, all right, thank you. 62,000, right?
63, yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
Tracy, Jim, I'm glad you're doing good. When,
Garrett?
yeah, I'm looking at his name, Garrett, when he called United, we called the ambulance and all that stuff, did our fire department show up at the same time too?
They ended up actually going right by.
And that's when Garrett went out to the road.
Because
they were-
Show up and everything?
And then the ambulance came, and then the fire department ended up coming back.
Okay, good. Well, the
We
reason
were
why,
there first.
okay, the reason why I'm asking is I really wish that Garrett would have got a medal like the other people did.
Oh, he got a little coin.
But was it from just you guys, right? Or was it?
It was from us.
It was from the select board.
It was from the select board.
But when they did their thing tonight, I think Garrett should have got one also.
I can mention it to Adam.
I think it'd be a good
Okay,
thing.
yep. He did a good thing.
That was pretty cool to.
All right. No more comments from the floor?
No, all right.
He said be quiet.
No workshop?
Nope.
Important dates?
There aren't any.
No important dates?
None.
So we can read those?
Yeah,
I don't,
Are they on the other paper?
I can read them.
don't have
I can
them?
read them. Important dates, August 26th, planning board meeting at 7 PM. September 1st is Labor Day. I take it the office will be closed. It doesn't say that, but office will be closed. September 2nd, select board meeting at 6:30. September 16th, select board meeting at 6:30. September 23rd, planning board meeting at 7.
no executive session and need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn at 8:15.
Second.
All in
Second.
favor? All right.
I think we
There you go.
need to look at what.
Where are my minutes?
They're right here, huh? Oh, I got them.
You got them all? If they're signed. All right, good. You beat the catcher down at the other end. All right, I'm getting the hell out of here.
So did you get the
JP.
motorcycle or did Todd
Oh,
get
can I
the
get that?
motorcycle?
I gotta get somebody.
Both of us, okay.
Well, like he's building one for me, but that one was just, I was like, I do not put up online. So wonderful. Yes, it's a very nice bike. So that one's mine. He was driving it the other day and I was like, drive it all you want, but just